the last video I wasn't able to get to the animation, so today's video is going to be animations. But before I get to that, there's some things I need to fix with the rig. First, I noticed that if I go to paint mode, go to Pinky, the Pinky wasn't rotating. There's the reason why. I'm going to go into edit mode, top view. So these ones have to be removed on Pinky 2. So if I go to weight paint, and I just want to make sure I don't have the same problem on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's fine. The other problem that I had was first of all, I noticed that the upper arm is too short, so it looks kind of funny, but at this point, I'm going to have to live with it. Unless I can go in here, change the length. That would be extremely helpful if I could. So I'm going to try. So if I leave it like that, I could add some more loops to the arms. As well as the coat. So if I grab the armature now, and I move everything around. The arm does look a little bit better, actually. I'm glad I did that. The only problem I have now is let's bring this down more. Yeah, the only problem I have now is I didn't apply the weights properly, so I have this like the side of his ribs are going in when I rotate his clavicle or shoulder. object mode, hide the coat. I'll start with the body. And weight paint. The problem is here. The chest should be controlling this instead of the clavicle or the shoulder. But right now, I have the clavicle controlling this. Actually, the chest should also control this as well. So when I erase this from the clavicle, and erase this from the shoulder, if I go to the other clavicle, this should be erased. This should be erased. So if I go back, pose mode, so no more weird indentation in the side rib. The only other weirdness that I see is in the elbow. Right here. His shoulder has to be way down like that in order for it to look a lot more natural. That looks more natural now. So I have to keep that in mind. When his arms are down, the shoulder rotates way down. That looks a little better. Now I have to go to the elbow. arm controls so if I go here, the bone is here. I need to, I'm going to add one more here, one more here. And the upper arm should control, whoops. Upper arm should control this much. The forearm if I go to the other arm. I want to see this real quick. So now if I go to pose mode, I'll try this sperm instead. so much better. You don't have like the crazy shape or weird shape in the elbow anymore. The shoulder looks nice and natural. So now I gotta do the exact same thing with the coat. So I'm gonna undo all this. So I'm gonna turn the coat back on. And also hide the body. Turn down the subdivisions. Okay, so same deal. Actually, I need to subdivide here, right where that elbow joint is. White paints. So chest. So chest is going to take over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same deal on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. No, that's not right. It's too much. 5. It's just this one. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to select my subtract tool, the clavicle, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Select those. Shoulder spine, clavicle right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Upper arm left. Upper arm's going to take over all this. As well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forearm, I can subtract all this. And I can subtract 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I can need to repeat the same thing on the other side. Arm. Actually, I should double check. Arm left. Okay, that's fine. So to prevent that weird like indentation at the elbow, give the lower part of the, I guess the bicep, over to the upper arm bone. That way you keep the full nice and sharp, but also you want a bit of like roundness at the back of the elbow. So that's why you give control of this to the upper arm, or I mean the forearm, because this line right here is where the joint is. The joint is roughly right in the middle. So there's 1, 2, 3, and usually I do where the bone is. I put like one here and then one loop here, and I offset the weight so it's like jagged like this. Hopefully that makes sense. So that one. I'm going to try out posing it once more. This time I'll go back to this side. Okay, that looks really, really good. Not super realistic. I'm not going for super realism, but it looks more natural. So I'm going to do all this. Now it's time for the animations. So at this stage, if I think that I'm happy with everything, first of all I save once more, and then I go save again in the animations folder, and I'll just rename this as default pose, and then I select everything in, so the body parts of the coat, as well as the armature, and then I export it. Just export FBX. In the FBX I'll export Clint default pose. So this is only when I'm pretty sure I'm done with the model and the rigging and everything. Say that once more. So with this done, I'm going to do the first animation. Go into the animations tab. And I'll do my idle animation. Actually, first thing, no, that's fine. I was going to I can make sure individual organs has to be selected. And basically what I'm doing is I'm going to create a separate file where the hand is closed and the arms. So yeah, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to create a file where the fingers are closed and the arms are down, because it saves me from having to do it each and every time I do an animation. So I can just, if I ever need an animation where, oops, if I need an animation where the hands are closed, the arms are down, I can just grab this file. So I'll go ahead and save this out as arms down. After I've saved that, I'll just turn this into an idle animation. To the animation tab. It's going to be 30 frames long. way down. Go ahead and adjust all this to cover all the overlap. Oh, cool. You can sort of see the overlapping wireframe view. Everything looks fine. So I like to insert a keyframe with everything selected at the very first frame. I'm going to grab the two wrist controllers and the main controller. Insert a keyframe at the end. In the middle, I'll nudge him slightly forward so that he's going forwards and back. And then a quarter of the way, I'll nudge him to the left. And then the last quarter, I'll nudge him to the right. And if I play, he's got a very, very subtle movement. That's my idle animation. So I'll save that as idle. Making sure I have these 3D geometries as well as the armature selected. I'll go export FBX. Idle. Okay, so the walking animation I'll just build from the same file from this idle animation. So I'll select everything. Again, it's going to be 30 frames long. And I'll just quickly, I'll start with the feet. But before I do that, I will grab the main controller, the hands, and I'll just bring those down so that way the feet touch the floor. So again, as usual, I like to grab all the entire rig and just keyframe the first frame. So with that, with everything keyed, I'm just going to grab the 2 foot controllers, insert a keyframe at the end, go in between in the middle, and I'm just going to reverse these positions. So I've got the basic foot positions. So when this foot returns, it's going to go slightly up, pointing down, and right before the foot lands, the heel touches the floor. The same thing with this one. On the way back, the foot comes off the ground, points downward, and right before the foot lands, I'll just copy and paste this one, that key, and I'll just tilt it up so that way the heel is touching. Okay, so with that done, I'm going to grab the hand controller and the main controller, and I'm going to add a key at the beginning and end and in the middle, and in between those, they're going to be slightly, It's going to be slightly up. The only problem here is that his body should be forward a little bit. Okay, that looks fine. Now I'm going to select all the spinal bones, the spines as well as the chest and shoulder, and when this foot is forward, everything is rotated slightly this way. When the other foot is forward, everything is rotated that way. And for this last frame, just copy and paste the first frame. And the head should be forward. For the hands, I'll get rid of these for now. Beginning frame. So whenever like this leg is forward, then the opposite arm is forward. When that leg is backwards, then the opposite arm is backwards. And I'm going to do the same thing for this hand. One last thing that I need to do is when both feet are on the ground, he's more down. When he's on one foot, this one is returning. So this foot has all the load at that moment. If everything is on this leg, if the entire load is on this leg, then the upper body should be shifted slightly over here. And over here, the opposite. So now, and we have to look at it from the back sometimes. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now, go back into layout. Save this as lock. File, export, whoops, file, export, EX. Make sure all the three geometries are selected as well as the armature. And export. One thing I forgot is when I export, we'll do this once more. Export mesh. I think I forgot to select selected objects. Try this once more. Export FBX. If I go create a new scene, and I go file, import, okay, that seems to be working. So I need to go do the same thing for the idle. Just make sure everything's selected. File, export, FBX. And do it once more for the default pose. Make sure everything's selected. Export, FBX. Okay. So now I'm going to do the running animation. And I'll start with the idle. I'll build it from there. So I'm going to go into the animation tab. one's only going to be 15 frames long. I'll start off by posing the feet. So these are the extremes that I'm going to start with the front left foot about to make contact with the ground. Another thing that I like to do at the beginning, when someone runs, their upper body's not upright. It's actually forward like this a little bit. So I could start off with that right away. And as usual, I key everything at the beginning. So starting with the feet only, I'm going to key the same frame at the very end. And in the middle, I'm going to switch feet. I want to try it and match it with the other feet. So the other foot was down there. And it's good enough. Okay, before I do anything, the thing that I usually like to do is as soon as his heel touches the ground, the frame after the foot is flat on the ground. At that moment, the body slightly dips, like this. Same with the other foot. Frame after body dips, and as soon as the body dips, it immediately goes into a higher position, about here. So I like to do that right before I finish off the feet. So I'm just going to quickly save that so I don't lose anything. Okay, so for this one here, right before he kicks back, this foot touches the ground, and it's kind of extended. So basically, all this stuff in between so the first frame here, it's his heel, then flat, flat. The Y translation, I don't have to adjust it because it's already interpolated. So I'm only worrying about the rotation as well as the Z. So from here, toes, and toes. So heel, flat, flat, toe, 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 and kicks off. And on the way back, the heel is up because the heel lands. So anything in between, I'm only worried about bringing things down. So he's like basically skimming the ground. And we're going to do the same thing. This one starts off moving forward. So right before it lands. So here, I'm just worried about bringing things down. So the heel lands, but here he pushes off before his foot kicks back. But over here, his foot is flat. So I forgot to add the up. Like the walking animation. When this foot is down, he's rotated this way, as well as the last frame. But when this foot is down, he's rotated this way, and as the body rotates, this face has to be forward. And I can't forget the arms. So the arm is back here. Same with the last frame. His arm is forward here. So obviously, as the body drops down, his arms need to follow, as well as this frame here. And in the up position, his arms need to be up. Okay, that looks alright. So, I'm going to quickly save that. And with all the geometry and the armature selected, export, FBX. Export the FBX. Okay, so before I finish, I just want to point out that, as you can see, there's something that's not painted properly here, so that's why it's sticking out. and the hands have this weird dent in it. So I'm gonna fix that. First I need to find out where this dent is coming from. Okay, so it's like one piece of geometry back here. So the way to fix that, I'll say this once more, is to open up the default pose. And I'm going to hide the codes. Just have the geometry selected. Temporarily put subdivisions to 0, wireframe, weight paint. So if I go down to just the neck, it's very easy to see that there's missing paints, so make sure you have mix selected. The tool tab here, just paint that in, very easy. In the wrist, the problem that I'm having is, I guess, this part. So I want to give this give all this to the wrist. And the thumb base, I'm going to subtract it all. I'm going to do the same thing with wrist right. To mix, I'm going to give all this to the wrist. And subtract it from the thumb. I need to grab these two, I guess. The reason why I only need to do in the default pose is because when I import everything into Blender, it's only going to read the geometry from the default pose, and it's going to read the animation, like when it reads the animation from the other files, the idle, walk, and run, it's not going to read the geometry information. It only reads the geometry from the default pose, which is good for me because I only have to fix this one. I don't have to go and fix all the other ones. So again, with all the geometry selected, I should probably save this first. So default pose. With everything selected, I'm going to export once more. Okay, and that's basically it. And for this video, I just wanted to do the animations. In the next video, I'm going to bring everything into Unreal and do a basic setup. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.